You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG, it's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 677.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. The view from our side of the cockpit door. With your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of September 8th, 2025.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. It's your light and it's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, a guilty plea from that off-duty pilot who tried to shut down a plane's engines mid-flight. And investigators say a pilot stalled his plane, causing a fatal crash 2 years ago in Wisconsin. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and locked positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 677 is ready for pushback.
Well, thank you, Radio Roger. He is an award-winning TV and radio reporter currently at the #1 all-news station in the nation. 1010 wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City!
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, a former U.S. Air Force pilot and a retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me from his studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire.
retired professional dog photographer, former RAAF fighter pilot, retired Airbus A330, A340 captain for Virgin Transatlantic Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Hi there, Jeff. Hi, Liz. It's just us, the #1 team here today. Okay, show 677. There was an aircraft registration OH677, which is a Schleicher. Is that right?
Sure it is.
Schleicher.
Schleicher.
A Schleicher ASK-21. It's a glider. A glider. Glider. Anyway, it's from Finland, and a while back it was being towed to get airborne, and the guy towing it towed them through some trees. So the glider hit the trees and fell at the end of Numela Airport. The tail of the glider broke off, and the wings were broken. 2 people on the plane were almost broken. They took them to hospital, but they were okay. The cause of the accident was a sudden, very heavy downpour, which surprised those both in the tractor and in the glider, despite the fact that the club they belong to is called Cumulus.
Woohoo!
Amazing.
Wow. So Neil
That must
in
have
our
clouded
audience,
their judgment.
Neil in our audience says, Schleicher? I hardly knew her.
Excellent.
Very
Love
good.
it, Neil. Love it, love it, love it.
Oh, well, that was interesting.
And that's a show title,
that,
perhaps.
that could be a title. I hope.
Yeah, and you know what is really, really amazing is that nobody died and it wasn't a downer story. I mean, well, it was a downer for the glider,
No.
but, you know.
It was a bit of a downer, yeah.
Okay. Very, very
Thank you for that,
good.
Nick.
All right. Yes, thank you. And let's move on with this from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our lovely producer. It's Liz Piper.
Good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We're having the most beautiful weather here right now. It's just gorgeous. No humidity, moderate temperatures. It's lovely.
I love it. It's a little bit drier air here as well, and still kind of getting a little warm during the daytime, but still I can sense a change in the seasons here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
happening.
yes.
Looking forward to
Temperatures
that.
dropping, getting wetter.
Have a good show, gentlemen.
Dry
Cheers,
here.
madam.
We'll see you. Thanks, Liz. Now, Liz normally, when she leaves us, goes to something called Unity Comms, which is something that we have.
I thought you were going to say purgatory there for a second.
Not purgatory. No. Well, I guess in a way, this is kind of a living purgatory for Liz, having to deal with us.
Poor love.
Yes.
She can't be rude to us back. Isn't that great?
Yeah, so she is hiding, and we won't hear her. So even if you're listening to the audio-only podcast right now, you will not hear the lovely dulcet tones of Liz Piper during the show until I figure out exactly how to fix this. I'll tell you a little bit more about this during the Getting to Know Us segment, but in the meantime, Liz is giving me a nonverbal signal to get the show on the road. So here we go.
Stand by for news.
What is she trying to tell me? She's like pointing at me.
But you're not going fast enough.
Down. Everything's okay. She's giving me an okay signal. Okay, cool.
All right. Excellent.
You know, I think why don't you just join us in the video, Liz? We can't hear you. I can't hear you. Can you hear her?
No.
There you.
Go on, just do your news. You don't need me in there. I'm fine.
Oh, we need to hear you.
Of course
No,
we
you
need
don't.
you.
No. Go on, get going. We don't. Time's a wasting. We don't have that much time today to fiddle around. Go on.
That's told you.
I love you, Liz. I really do. Okay.
Right. What's first then, Jeff?
I don't know. Okay.
How about number 1A?
Hey, let's start off with this from opb.org. I don't know what that stands for. That's something to do with Oregon, I'm thinking.
Oregon Public Broadcasting.
Wow. Did you just hear that? Like,
Yeah, I do. There's a
skies,
voice
I heard
from
this
Purgatory.
voice
Yes,
from Purgatory.
indeed. I thought Purgatory was down below.
No, it's not really a location. It's kind of more of a state. Not one of the United States. Okay, let's continue with the
51st state.
so you'll recall this occurred, when did it occur? A couple of years ago, October 22nd, 2023, almost not quite 2 years ago. This pilot from Horizon Air was jump seating on a flight on Alaska Air. And he was depressed or didn't get a lot of sleep, took mushrooms. I don't know. He was kind of jacked up and decided that it'd be a good idea to shut down the engines of this regional jet. Fortunately, he was not successful in actually shutting the engines down. But I'll pick up from their news item here, their news article. A former off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot, Horizon pilot, who nearly shut down an aircraft's engines over Oregon airspace in 2023, pleaded guilty to criminal charges in state and federal court in Portland on Friday. So this is an update. Man, I tell you what, the wheels of justice don't work very fast, do they?
They do not.
As part of an agreement reached with the U.S. Department of Justice, Emerson agreed to waive a grand jury indictment and plead guilty to a single count of interference with flight crew members in attendance, a felony. The charge carries the possibility of 20 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. According to the prosecutors, on October 22nd, 2023, Emerson was catching a ride home from Everett, Washington to San Francisco while seated in the cockpit jump seat. Oh, you know what? I have this all screwed up. I was wrong. Let's see.
No, I can't believe it. You've never been wrong.
Yeah, I know. I think this is the first time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
perhaps I'm wrong.
Yeah, you probably are. Anyway, I should say that he actually was an Alaska Airlines pilot, and he was jump seating on an Alaska Airlines affiliate. What do we call that? Connection partner or whatever. Regional jet operated by Horizon Airlines. It was an Embraer 175 jet. So anyway, Somewhere between Astoria and Portland, more than 30,000 feet in the air, Emerson removed the headphones from the ears and, according to court records, declared, "I'm not okay," before proceeding to nearly cut off the plane's fuel supply mid-flight. Witnesses said he was acting erratically and was seemingly confused about his reality. Yeah, that could describe a lot of us, I think. In court Friday morning,
Yeah.
Assistant U.S. Attorney Parakram Singh said the federal government would likely ask the judge to impose a sentence of 1 year in prison as well as pay restitution. Let's see. So let's get to the meat of this story. Let's see. He pleaded no contest in state court Friday afternoon to the one felony of endangering an aircraft and 83 misdemeanors, one for each individual aboard the aircraft, of recklessly endangering another person. He said, "I regret the harm I caused to every single person on board that airplane, crew members and guests," Emerson said during the hearing in state court. "I regret the harm I caused to society, which is part of what this process is about." Under the plea agreement with the Multnomah County District Attorney's Office, Emerson will spend 5 years on probation. Okay, no time in prison, I guess, other than the time he's already served, I guess. He'll also have to complete 664 hours of community service at a minimum of 12 hours per month. So if I'm doing my math correctly, that's 144 hours per year. So that's going to take him several years to take care of all this community service. I mean, he could do it more quickly if he wanted to, and he was also ordered to pay some $60,000 in restitution. As part of the deal, Emerson won't be allowed within 25 feet of an airplane without written approval from his parole officer, and he cannot use or possess a controlled substance without a prescription, which I think is true for all of us, isn't it? Yeah.
Almost certainly.
So some people were expressing dismay regarding this seemingly pretty light sentence. What do you think, Captain Nick?
Just September, not dismay.
Oh, dismay.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Oh, please. Save me.
That's a good one, though, Liz. That deserves and this. There you go. Now, Captain Nick, would you have anything to say about this?
Well, his career is ruined. Mm-hmm. He, with his legal fees as well as the restitution he's paying, he's probably financially ruined. I'm just wondering, people want him to go to jail for a longer period. Just how much do they want? They got the aircraft back under control very quickly. He's fully admitted his guilt, and I'm just wondering how much blood they want. But I guess they're entitled to...
Off with his head!
That's what we want.
I guess they're entitled to their share of giving him grief, because he had the potential to kill them all, I guess. But he didn't, is the pretty swift answer to that.
I had, and so did you, the ability to kill hundreds of people in one fell swoop when we were actively flying. And you know what? We never did. Just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because they do actually highlight some of the problems with pilots and mental illness in that if your authority, in this case the FAA, have too strict a medical standard to be achieved if you admit to having a mental issue, then it becomes a real barrier to declaring that you need help for, say, depression or just a common mental illness. And that might be the case here. He was terrified that he would lose his income and his family wouldn't have, any income to support them. They would lose their house, etc. So he didn't want to admit and seek medical help, I should say, which, is a bit of a problem, because you all ought to be free to say, I've got a problem, I need help, and not necessarily have it completely wreck your career. At the moment, the FAA, they do make it very difficult for pilots to be treated for depression and come back to flying. There's no real easy way, and a lot of people do end up losing their medical and not being able to work again, even when they're better.
Yep. Yeah, so true. So I guess that this case does serve to kind of highlight these kind of issues, and the fact that the FAA and other agencies in aviation throughout the world are definitely taking a closer look at these kind of situations and conditions.
Yeah. It carries too much stigma, and for an airline pilot who did in fact admit to having a period of depression, I was successfully treated and I was found fit to work again, and it took 6 months, but I came back to work and successfully worked for the last 4 or 5 years of my career without any issues. And that's the way it should be. If you have a severe mental illness and they discover that it is so severe that you can't hold a medical again, well, that's fair enough. I mean, if you've got a very severe mental disorder. But in the great majority of cases, people suffer from a bit of depression, high levels of anxiety, which the job can generate. You should be free to be able to say, I've got a bit of a problem at the moment, a bit like breaking a bone. It's just you're ill and you need to be cured, and you can be.
Very good. Well said, sir. And, look at that. Look who's here.
There's a
joined
handsome
us.
chap.
Yeah.
What a youngster.
Hello.
Yeah, so
Hello.
I think I can do this. You'll hear the music in the background when you listen to the audio podcast that I'll fix in post. So let me say, and we have from the Northwoods of the Atlanta suburbs, race car driver, self-taught chef, and a commercial multi-engine instrument-rated pilot with an interest in anything with enough horsepower to kill him, AJ Schramm.
Survived another day of traffic in Atlanta.
We're now going to cover item B, the second letter in the alphabet. So we're going to cover that as the second news story in today's show. This is a final report from an accident that occurred at Oshkosh in July of 2023. And let's talk a little bit about what happened here. The pilot and passenger departed on a local flight in a North American AT-6D, a warbird, climbed to an altitude of about 3,900 feet, mean sea level, while turning to overfly a local lake, Lake Winnebago, for those of you familiar with Oshkosh and Whitman Field. After leveling off, the airplane made a turn to the right, followed by a turn to the left. Performance calculations based on ADS-B and winds aloft data showed that during the turns, the airplane decelerated and the calculated load factor increased. That's not a good combination. The airplane slowed to a speed consistent with its published accelerated stall speed, then entered a rapid descent. A witness reported seeing the airplane in a flat spin to the right that continued until the airplane impacted the water. The airplane was destroyed when it impacted the water. Examination of the airplane engine and related systems did not reveal any pre-impact anomalies that would have precluded normal operation. Based on the available information, the pilot likely failed to maintain adequate airspeed while maneuvering and exceeded the airplane's critical angle of attack, which resulted in an inadvertent aerodynamic stall/spin. By the way, the two occupants of the aircraft died, sadly. And so I think they talk a little bit more in detail about the actual speeds that they were flying. I think the calculated non-accelerated, 1G flight, stall speed would be, what is it, 87? Okay, calibrated airspeed. And they show that the acceleration during the second turn reached about 1.8 G. And the, let's see, so, no, it says the published 1G stall speed for the airplane with landing gear and flaps retracted is 67.
I conflated those. The lowest speed she got to was 87.
Yeah, okay. So you ask yourself, well, wait a minute, if the published stall speed, 1G stall speed, 67, why is it they stalled at 87? Well, as it points out, they were accelerating. They were almost twice the amount of G that we normally experience, 1.8 times the normal level of gravitational force. And what happens when you do that is that your critical angle of attack increases or decreases. Decreases. And so you can stall the air. What do they say? Captain Nick, you're high performance aircraft guy, and AJ has experience with that as well. When you end up accelerating, you can basically stall a wing at any airspeed, right? Because if you accelerate it enough, yeah. Well, talk a little bit about that.
Go for it, AJ.
Say that again.
Go for it, AJ.
I think I covered the basics there. I mean, it's basically the higher the load factor on the wing, the higher that speed and it able to retain lift. So when you put the airplane into a turn and pull real hard, your stall speed goes up. And sometimes the stall speed will go up past the speed that you're going and cause a spin. The spin is basically where one wing stalls before the other. So one wing is effectively flying, creating lift. The other wing is stalled, not creating lift, which causes the airplane to kind of go into a spiral type path. It is possible to recover from a spin. However, in the T6 specifically, it's very, very difficult to recover from a spin. In the manual for the T6, if memory serves, it recommends you do not do spins starting a spin below 10,000 feet AGL, because it takes several turns to get the airplane back under control and back flying. So getting into that situation at, 3,900 feet, which is give or take 3,100 feet above the ground there, not a lot of opportunity to be able to get yourself out of that situation, unfortunately. And she was relatively experienced pilot, 600 and change hours, but only about 30 hours in the T6, I think is what I remembered seeing. And she had recently done her checkout on that airplane, getting checked out to fly it solo and take passengers and stuff. So kind of, from what I heard, it kind of sounded like it might have been, this is all speculation, but kind of taking somebody for a ride and showing them how fun the T6 is to fly, and just over-G'd the airplane in a turn. Not just over-G'd, but overloaded the wing in a turn. And
that's I would agree with that 100%. The thing is that you need to be able to recognize the onset of the critical angle, the onset of a stall, which is normally preceded by some form of buffet. I don't know what it's like in this T6, but normally you feel a level of buffet, and you just turn the aircraft and often fly on that, nibble into that buffet, so you're getting the best performance out of the wing, particularly if you're doing hard maneuvers. But the instant you go past it and you start hitting heavy buffet, or you get a wing drop, you've got to unload the aircraft straight away. You've got to instantly do that, particularly if the aircraft is prone to a spin, and it'll take a long time to get out of it. And if you're not fast doing that, then the aircraft will go into a full spin one wing, and then it'll auto rotate, and then you're starting to lose it. I mean, all that's happening is on the wing is normally as you get the breakaway of air across an aerofoil that sits, about 2/3 of the way back normally, and as you accelerate and you demand more and more lift, that lift centers on the initial curved part of the aerofoil, and the breakaway point comes further and further forward, and it's actually that turbulent air which gives you the buffet that you can normally feel as you approach a stall. And then is quite right, as you continue to pull back, you'll that you'll exceed the point at which the wing can now generate enough lift to keep you flying. And, because only such a small part of the wing is now giving you lift, and the airflow behind that point has broken away. And if you exceed that point, then you're going to end up in this kind of a situation. But I tell you what, the more you do it, the better you are actually at finding that point, and the better you can make your aircraft perform. And so long as you have got a moderately benign stall characteristic, something that doesn't snatch the airplane out of your hands when you go in beyond the stall, and that's really down to the design. And this is a pretty old airplane. This is World War II manufacture period and design period. So they knew a lot about it, but not as much as we do nowadays. Modern aircraft are much better designed and can be much more benign. But it was designed as a trainer for fighter pilots, so they were going to move on to a more powerful aircraft, but this was one of the main trainers they were going to use, if I'm not mistaken.
It was kind of like the fighter trainer, so it wasn't used for initial primary training. It was used for more advanced maneuvering training, kind of like what you would think of as BFM.
I think this really highlights the importance of having experience in a particular airplane. And those of you who aren't pilots think, well, if you had 600 hours and 30 in this particular model, 30 really isn't, it's good, but the more you fly an airplane, and as Captain Nick just pointed out, the more experience you have with when you're getting close to the onset of a stall and what a stall feels like, et cetera. You just, I don't know, it's hard to describe it, almost like you're one with an airplane. The more you fly it, the more you sense things that you can't really sense when you first start flying an airplane for the first time. It takes time. And that's why we always say that, having good flying skills is definitely an important thing, but also having experience can be just as good or maybe even more important than the actual skills set.
I agree completely. Way back when I was doing my instrument training, was having a little bit of trouble staying consistent on my speeds during an approach. And my instructor, we started doing some partial panel stuff, where you cover up a number of instruments you have to use other instruments to kind of fill in the gaps of information that you're not getting. And he covered up the airspeed indicator and left it that way all the way down to the ground. And sure enough, my airspeed, you go back and look at the data, and the airspeed was just lock solid because I was flying the airplane instead of trying to fly the gauge. Mm-hmm. Just kind of the Star Wars trench, use the Force Luke kind of situation. Just feel the airplane, just fly it.
Yep.
And like you say, the more time you get in an airplane, the more you get to know it.
Yep.
You know how it's going to react, how it talks to you. Yeah, each airplane speaks in a little bit different voice.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
All right. I think we've spent a little bit more time, which is a good thing. I like when we do go a little bit deeper into analysis of these news items. And since this show is a little bit different format, we're going to go ahead and go right into the Getting to Know Us segment. So here we go. Getting to Know Us, that segment of the show where we get all caught up with each other, what we've been up to between shows. All right. Love that music. That's me playing the piano, by the way. No, that's not true. That's not me.
We believe you.
Yeah. So let's see, who would like to proceed first today's? You know what? Let me be first because I don't really have much to say.
Me, you.
Me. I get to choose, and it's me.
Okay.
Okay. So I think did I mention that I might be taking a road trip soon in the Road Vessel Studio? Maybe sort of. I alluded to it a bit. Anyway, I am setting off for a road trip on we're recording this show on a Thursday, the September 11th. By the way, this day in history, of course, was a horrible horrible tragedy back in 2001. And we need to say something about the fact that, it was a horrible day in aviation and just in general. And we really still continue to think about and pray for the people lost and the families and friends of those who died in the tragedy on the 11th of September in 2001. So anyway, we're recording on the 21st, what is this, the 24th anniversary? Wow, can't believe that. 24 years ago, 24th anniversary of that tragedy. And on Saturday, I will be leaving in the Road Vessel studio for a trip heading out to the west. Exactly where I'm going, not really sure. Just generally in a westerly direction, and I hope to see some people involved or part of the show as far as our community is concerned. In fact, I'll try to be sending out some texts or some posts on X and on Facebook. And perhaps maybe even sending information on how you can actually track me exactly where I am on the interstate highways heading out to the west. And if you see me and know that I'm going to be anywhere near you, please contact me via social media or jeff@airlinepilotguy.com and let me know. And maybe we can get together. I know that for sure the first night I'm going to be in Holly Springs, which is just to the southeast of Memphis, Tennessee. And that's going to be Saturday. If you're listening to the audio podcast right now, that's history. I've already been there. It was like a couple days ago. And then I'm going to be in somewhere near Fort Smith, Arkansas, and the next day, and then somewhere in Texas. I know that's a big state. On the third day/night, and I'm pretty sure that I'll be spending some time in Albuquerque, New Mexico on Tuesday. In fact, I'm meeting up with James Graves Brown and his wife Sarah. He is the host of the Ordinary Joe's Extraordinary Lives, I think, or Extraordinary Stories. Anyway, Ordinary Joe's podcast. I'll be appearing on that sometime soon in the future. Anyway, I'll be stopping by and visiting with them. So maybe if you're in that area on Tuesday, what day would that be? I don't know. Liz will tell me.
That's usually a Tuesday.
I know, but like what day? Like number?
Oh,
16th.
Thank you. The 16th. Thank you. The 16th of September in Albuquerque. Contact us, let me know, and then perhaps we can go meet at a great Mexican restaurant or something there or a Tex-Mex. No, I guess that would be New Mexico Mex restaurant. Anyway, and then beyond that, don't really have a clear idea exactly where I'm going to be and when and all that kind of stuff, but I'll try to keep everybody apprised of that. So that's what I'm going to be setting off on. I'm excited about, doing some more traveling in the Road Vessel studio. As far as recording a show, I'm going to have to play that by ear as well. I do plan on doing a show next week, just not sure exactly when. So that is, and then of course I've been doing my normal flying. No, not flying. Singing. That's the word. Singing. At my church. A lot of funerals this week, already 2 funerals, Monday and Wednesday, and then tomorrow, Friday, there are 2 funerals. And that's why I'm waiting to leave Roswell until Saturday so that I can do my best to provide for the musical portion of the funeral mass as much as I can before I head off. And so that is what. Anything else that I've been up to, Liz? I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Who would like to go next? I think Captain Nick was just voluntold.
Why don't you go, AJ? Because then I can just run straight into the cover.
Oh, okay. Good idea. All right, AJ.
Okay, fine. You with the good ideas and whatnot. So there's a few pictures in there, kind of I guess I can just kind of talk my way through those. But had a really amazing trip to Asheville. Kind of talked about that a little bit on the
You said you were
previous
going to.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we flew up there. Weather was gorgeous on the way up there. Nothing bad to say about Asheville controllers, but they did kind of slam dunk me into the airport.
They do that there.
Put me on a there's these these funny bump things like mountains that are kind of in the way. It doesn't help.
No.
But I was on downwind about 3,500 AGL, so it was a steep descent on base to final.
Was this which direction were they landing?
1-7, to
Okay.
the south. So I came in for a right downwind.
A right downwind. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right over the ridge.
Yeah, big hills there. The Blue Ridge Parkway, in fact.
Yep.
Nice view of that, yeah.
Oh, it was gorgeous. Yeah, there's a couple of pictures up there on the screen that are some of the pictures my wife took. And she's not a avid, enthusiastic flyer. I would call her a mildly anxious flyer. But she enjoyed it, actually. She was glad that she was willing to go in the first place. So there was that. But she actually enjoyed the flight. It was pretty good.
Awesome.
So got there, had an amazing food. Went to a little Spanish tapas restaurant.
Ooh, a topless bar, huh? Oh, I'm sorry, tapas. That's something entirely different. Tapas. Okay.
But absolutely phenomenal food. And they have a tour of Spain kind of thing where it was like 7 or 8 different courses and just absolutely phenomenal. Delicious. Had a great time. That was our actual anniversary night. So managed to find a bottle of quite nice champagne that was the vintage was the year that we got married. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Oh, very nice.
That worked out
How many
nicely.
years?
10.
Awesome. Congrats.
So had a nice bottle of Dom Perignon 2015.
Ooh.
Great year. Thank you, Costco.
It was
I
still
did not
expensive, even at Costco.
It was still pretty expensive, but it wasn't like $500 like it would have been at the restaurant.
Yeah.
I only had to give them $25 for the corking fee. But then got up early on Saturday morning and went on a horseback ride, which was absolutely gorgeous as well, up through the mountains north of Asheville. Got to ride another relatively rare breed of horse. Usually when we go do these horseback rides, I'm a fairly stout guy. I'm usually kind of bumping up against the max rider weight limit that they like to use these places. And so I always end up on these just monster horses. Last year I got to ride a Suffolk Punch, which is a very, very rare horse in North
My
America.
God, that's a cart horse.
And as you can see from the they're properly used for clearing fields and pulling, semis and stuff like that. They're massive. And this time I got to ride a Percheron named June, and she was super sweet, great horse. But as you can see, if you look, I think is there another picture, Liz, of us? Yeah, face on. I don't know if there's a way to zoom in on that, but if you look at the size of June's hooves versus my wife was on a horse called Chippewa, and you notice they're almost twice the diameter.
They're
That's
big.
it's kind of, you can't get quite the size reference in that picture, but June was a big girl. Yeah, she had one speed, and it was not fast, which is okay, but she just kept plugging along. It was great. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Got some amazing pictures. You can see the mountains in the background there, and it was kind of just a little bit of some scattered clouds. So it was really neat to see the clouds kind of in some of the valleys and stuff. My wife is from South Georgia, so never done a lot of mountain type experiences. So it's kind of a little bit.
Those mountains look like South Georgia to me.
Yeah, right. And then, so that afternoon, we went to a place that was highly recommended to us called Bear's Smokehouse. And they had some amusing signs. So this was one of my favorites because everything was that way. So, and then they had a dish called bear balls, and they were phenomenal. So they take macaroni and cheese and pulled pork, cover that in cornbread, and then top it with cheese sauce and bacon. After they fry it, they batter it and fry it, and then cheese sauce and bacon. absolutely amazing.
That sounds good.
So ate way too much food. Stuffed ourselves, of course. Then we got to after that we went to a little place called Well Played. It's like a board game cafe, which was super neat. So they have like 7,000 board games, and you pay $10 and you can stay all day from open to close and play board games. And they have a full bar. They have food. It's like a regular restaurant, but with every board game you could possibly ever think of, and a lot that you've never heard of. But one of the really neat things that they had was a print your own Guinness. So I reached out to the group, and someone was able, I think Jeff, actually, you were able to send me a JPEG. So we joke around about the Acme Airlines lattes that we have on
cool.
that created. I drank one, but it was Guinness.
So how does that work? Explain that to me.
I don't know. Witchcraft.
Okay.
That's
Some
still
kind
my
of
only.
inkjet printer with edible ink.
I
guess
hope
it
it was
And
edible.
They put the foam topped Guinness in the. Yeah, I don't know. It may not be.
Stuck it in the printer.
In the printer. Okay. It kind of gets
I
messy
reckon
with
so.
all the paper and everything. And,
But
you know.
I was absolutely amazed. Like in that picture, you can see even the tiny, tiny print over
Yeah.
the top of the logo is totally legible.
That's what really blew me away, because I'm thinking, well, there's no way that you can actually see the Airline Pilot Guy show,
Right.
writing. Oh, no, you can. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
absolutely distinct. So
That looks brilliant.
So next we'll have to do a meetup, and we can all have Airline Pilot Guy Guinnesses. Because the other thing is, it didn't cost a dime. You just pay for the beer.
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, that's
Pre-
awesome.
Did that take
Very
them
good.
long to do, or
No, I mean
Wow.
like normal time to wait for a beer.
Yeah.
It's 4 or 5 minutes, but
that's amazing?
nothing outrageous. They didn't have to go buy the printer or anything like that.
I love that.
Let's see what else. Oh, and later that afternoon, we got to go to the Biltmore House, which is an amazing mansion there in Asheville. It was the Vanderbilt family that built it, and it's just incredible tour. You get to go all through the house, see all kinds of cool stuff, and there's a little audio tour that goes along with it. No extra cost or anything like that, and it tells you a lot of the history, and it's neat because you type in the number of where you're at, so it gives you it's not like you have to keep up with a tour, and if you walk too slow, you get behind. You walk up to the next room, and it's number 21. You type in 21, and it gives you the audio for that room or that area. But indoor swimming pool in the basement. Indoor bowling alley. Absolutely amazing house. 35 bedrooms.
That's all.
I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, there was a funny story about the swimming pool. It was last used in like the 30s, and then they had a special event, some kind of special big party in the mid 50s, and that was the last time the swimming pool was filled. And the sad part was that they filled the swimming pool up. The next day, the swimming pool was empty, but the sub-basement under the swimming pool was not.
Oh,
No.
And this is a massive, full-size, 9-foot deep, full-on swimming pool.
that's a lot of water.
It's a lot of water. I was like, oh no, that's sad. So yeah, that was kind of a interesting story there. But yeah, other than that, just again, absolutely gorgeous views up there. Even in the kitchen and the servants' areas, every window there's just the most incredible landscape view out of every single window in the house, because where the house sits, it's just flat for miles in every direction, and then there's just mountains and just, like I said, absolutely gorgeous views. So that was a really neat experience. Got to go over and have do a little wine tasting at the Biltmore Winery, which was it's okay. I didn't bring any home, put it that way. But it was included in the price, so that was good. And then the flight home, and and I got to go tour the Asheville Tracon and the Asheville Tower, which was really, really neat. They were super nice. Took a little bit to get a hold of their phone number, interestingly, because I called the airport management office.
I thought they'd have given it to you a bunch of times already.
Yeah, would you write down this number,
This is
please?
the first flight in a while. I haven't gotten a phone number. Yeah, it was kind of left me a little lonely, actually. But yeah, so I called the airport manager office, and they acted like it was some sort of top secret, document. Like, oh no, we can't give you that number. You can't have that. Okay.
Oh dear.
So I just called Atlanta Center and I said, hey, I need the number for the Asheville Tracon. He's like, oh yeah, here you go. So problem solved.
Yeah.
So I called him up and they said, yeah, we'd love to have you. Yeah, come by. And it was kind of funny because in the terminal, we picked up our rental car from the terminal at Asheville. Our FBO is down the ramp on the other end of the airport. So we got one of the line guys to run us up in the courtesy car, picked up our rental car. And that's when I noticed the FAA tower door is literally right next to the Enterprise rental car booth. So I was like, oh, that's right there, man. That's convenient.
Do they have the door propped open with a brick? Like, because, allow airflow and
it's got, signs all over it, unauthorized access prohibited, FAA, federal regulations, all the big red signs, right? So I called the guy up and I'm like, hey, wanted to see if I could, any chance of getting a tower tour and a Tracon tour or something. Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just, what time do you want to come? I said, I don't know, tomorrow, just give me a time. He's like, let's do 1:00. I was like, okay, perfect. So he's like, okay, just come to, where the door is? I said, yeah. He goes, just come in that door and just keep going up the stairs until you find a door with a button, with a call button. He goes, just go up to that door and hit the button. Okay. So go trotting right on in this door covered in all these red signs right past behind the Enterprise booth. Like this just feels strange.
not secure.
waiting for somebody to come get me, And it turns out that at the top of the door, there is a locked and, secure door. It's just the stairwell was the way up. So, but had a really neat visit with them. Got to talk to them. They actually gave me my flight strip. I had already filed my flight plan for the route home. And so they gave me my flight strip with all my info on it. And I had put on there in the remarks that it was our 10-year anniversary flight. And they thought that was the coolest thing. And on the way home, on the flight home, I actually got a couple Atlanta approach and our home tower actually read the remarks. And when they signed off with us, they said happy anniversary on frequency. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, so, I saw that strip and noticed you were really kissing up to ATC. I love ATC. Oh,
hey man, anything for a shortcut. Absolutely.
No, I love it. Love it.
So yeah, it was just overall absolutely fantastic trip. Just had a wonderful time.
Excuse me. How about the tinting of the car windows?
That's right. The surprise.
The secret surprise.
How'd that go?
So that worked out really, really well. I had one of our patrons on this show, as well as the host of another podcast, goes by Bravo Sierra. He helped me out, and I hid some keys. I got to the airport before my wife did, and so I hid an extra set of keys for the cars in his airplane, which is parked right next, right down the row from my airplane. So hid the keys in his car or in his airplane. He came over on Saturday morning, took the cars down to another friend of ours' hangar. Actually, the hangar pictured behind me. Mm-hmm. And so the guy doing the tent was able to work inside out of the wind and the dust and all the things, and then put the cars back exactly in their same spots.
Oh yeah, you were wondering if you'd be able to do that. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Glad that worked out.
That worked out perfectly, and my wife didn't even notice.
Now, who kind of thought that would be the case? So was it Liz or are you? I think all of us.
I think everybody knew that was going to happen. So yeah, we walked out there together, got in our cars, we drove them back over to the airplane to put the bags in, and I'm like, oh, is anything different about your car? And she's like, and she's literally staring at the window. She's like, no.
No.
I was like, man, that looks like I can't see through your window very well. She's like, what are you talking about? Okay. Your windows are tinted. She's like, oh, that only took 4 years. Like, you're welcome.
As you like to say at the end of the show, you're welcome.
You're welcome. Yeah. So it was a great success from the logistical sneakiness standpoint. But no, she was very grateful, and she's been enjoying that for the last several days. So
that's good.
It's been good.
Awesome.
The other drivers won't see the gesture she's making at them in traffic. It's probably better for us anyway.
Yeah. It was more not much so much for her, but for the general public.
No, it was for the general public. Yeah. That's exactly right. So yeah, other than that, just normal life, working every day, and got another flight next Thursday. Got a friend in town from Vietnam, and he wants to go visit some people up in is it Bluefield, West Virginia. So another excuse to go build some more hours, so we can jump in the airplane, do a little day trip up there, and should be pretty fun.
Nice. All right. You'll have to ask him if he ever heard of Antu and the Asian women in aerospace and aviation.
I'll need to go back to my messages and look. I think I had messaged him about that right when that happened, and I think we had talked about that.
Cool.
And I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember if he was familiar with her or not.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right. Very good. Speaking of that, there is going to be a memorial for her down in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, or Fort Lauderdale, well, somewhere in down that direction in South Florida on September 28th or something like that. Is that right, Liz?
30th.
September 30th. Yeah. I plan on flying down for that. So, hey, if anybody listening is down in South Florida, maybe we could work in a quick meetup somewhere down there. So
you're gonna leave the RV in California and fly to Fort Lauderdale?
Well, actually, I'm planning on getting it all the way back to Roswell, Georgia, and then flying from here in Atlanta down to Lauderdale. But you know how plans are. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't.
We'll have to see if you have an overnight near an airport that's not terribly far, and maybe I'll come meet you and we'll go out for dinner and have a meetup out there somewhere.
Oh, that'd be fun. Okay. Keep in touch. All right. Very good.
You'll have to take me off your do not disturb list, though.
Oh, yeah. We'll see.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Do I really have you on my do not disturb list? I don't think I do. I don't think I have anybody.
Time for Captain Nick now.
Captain Nick. That producer can't just help herself. She can't. She's got to keep things going.
It's great. I love it. It keeps the show moving.
Yes.
Me, sir, I have managed to make another circuit of the sun. So cracked another birthday. 9th of the 9th is the old birthday. So another one ticked off. Yeah, thank you very much. I have a nice gift for the wife.
I thought that was the right button.
A bicycle, which is great, and I'll show. I'll get a picture of it.
Did you actually find your bicycle? Because last I heard it was missing.
Yeah, there was a big drama over the delivery. Amazon told me that they delivered it on this day to somebody completely different.
Oh, wow. How nice for them.
This message to a receptionist in a place I'd never heard of and a person I'd never heard of. And I said, well, I haven't had any bicycle and it's not a cheap bike. So I was getting all upset, and it turned out they just sent me the information of a different bicycle. So when eventually I got in touch with the bloke, he said, we don't know it. We haven't even put it in the van yet. So, oh, okay.
We're still riding it around the parking lot.
Yes.
Why haven't you put it in the van? Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, I had a nice meal with a steak, and I don't know if Liz has got the pictures, but we just went on down and got a. Liz, is it the other end of the line of pictures? Because no, that's not it. It's a picture of a steak that we had at home. No, don't go through all those.
For the record, that was a picture of a steak.
So, it was.
Just not the correct steak.
Not the right steak.
Right.
But,
so we'll probably get to those. At
there
the
we go.
There you go.
Oh, there it is.
That is a massive steak.
Huge.
Yeah, that was it was over a pound weight.
Wow.
About 1.5 pounds, I think. Nice. And my son sent me some beers and some suitable snacks, and I have been working like a trooper on this book called Fast Jets on the Front Line by Alan Munro, and I'm interviewing him with our friend Nev from PT UK on Monday to give him an interview while he tells us about his book, which is interesting. So if you're a PT UK listener, then you'll probably get to hear that over the next few weeks. By the by, more importantly, a chap that I met a couple of years ago who was a very well qualified engineer and had decided to go through a career change. And he was in the UK doing jet upset training. And his name's Basim. And he said, Captain Nick, I'm going to be in the country. Any chance of a get-together again? And I'll catch you up. I'm not going to speak for long, Wiz, so whiz through these. Anyway, we found a nice steakhouse, and somewhere in between my place and Stansted Airport where he landed, and we got together and recorded a quick interview, which I am going to play to you very shortly. And there's our steaks munch. I had a nice roast, but there you go. So here it comes. Here's our chat together. And welcome to you, Basim. It's Captain Nick here, and I'm sitting in the most fabulous pub out near Heathrow Airport, and it seemed a perfectly ideal place to meet up my guest today, who's Basim. And he, if you remember, was the centerpiece of a plane tale I did when he was across in the UK doing his jet upset training. And it was a fascinating series of talks to both his instructor and Basim himself. And at that point, he was early on in his attempt to become an airline pilot. And, oh, hey, here comes some more beer. Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And I'm catching up with him. I won't reveal all, but here is the man himself to tell you his story from that point onwards.
Thank you, Captain Nick, and hello to APG community, Captain Jeff, and the rest. Basim again, thank you for the introduction. It's been 3 years since we did the first interview, and it still feels surreal then and now to be sitting with you again here today to catch up on my unlikely story to become an airline pilot. It's been a long journey really to reach here. I mean, figuratively and actual. I mean, I just flew in 5 hours from my home base back in the Middle East. So, long story short, I now work for my airline. I'll call it Acme Royal.
Very nice. Yeah. Acme. Oh, can I have a pint of Acme Royal?
Yeah.
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, I've cleared as a first officer back in May 2024, but I started with the airline in August of 2025, and now it's August 2024 when I started. I fly as a first officer for the Airbus fleet. We flew in today to Stansted. It was a 5-hour flight. In a brief, I decided to attempt to become an airline pilot back in 2019. COVID didn't happen then, but I wanted not to regret not trying, if I can put it this way, and signed up for a local flight school. I got my license 2021, and I tried to improve my chances when the airline business picked up and the demand for pilots became obviously high, especially for urban issues. So I started trying to improve my chances of getting a job. And that's when I met Captain Nick the first time when I did the APURT course in England. Little did I know that the job that was waiting for me back home. And probably I can't get into too many details, but here I am with my airline and in Stansted, or actually in London now, flying in for a 2-night layover, which I enjoyed my first part of it, and we'll figure out what we'll do tomorrow.
That is fantastic. Now, one of the reasons I think speaking to you is such an inspiration, Bassam, is because you're not doing this amazing transition
Yeah.
at a particularly young age.
True.
Is there something you can tell me that would perhaps inspire other people who are thinking about a career change and give them some confidence that it's possible?
Sure. Before I do so, it is really the context of where you're from, where you will probably get a job, makes all the difference. In our part of the world, probably I'd say I'm in an anomaly or on the fringe of opportunities. However, I would confidently say in Europe and probably in the States, but I'm not very familiar with it. The path to become an airline pilot is much more easier because there are ways to, beside acquiring your license gradually through modular programs and being able to build up your experience without being with an airline is possible. And also the amount of employers who can hire you is higher. In EASA region, being an EASA citizen or a European citizen or and holding an EASA license will open up not only one country or two countries, you have the whole EASA or European countries or European economic zone to work for. So it's really context based. Where are you based? What kind of license can you acquire? And where can you be hired? I would say that after COVID, the possibility of being hired at a later age is easy, is much better than before, because many airlines still have ab initio programs running. Many don't have at least published age limit to start. And as we started our discussion I joke with the more veteran pilots at our airline, especially those who are about to retire, that they say, I'm looking forward to my retirement. I say, I want to fly until I retire, which now when I mentioned that it's 21 years from now, when I'm 44 right now, sounds like a lot, right? It will pass in a flash, but I think it's a decent career to pursue. I mean, previously I worked for 20 years in different fields. So when I'm 65, when I look back, it won't look as strange that I moved into airline career at a later age.
Absolutely. Well, I admire you, and your story is great. And I hope one day you will take some time to give us the whole story, and perhaps send in feedback, and so that we can find out all those obstacles that you had to overcome to get where you are now.
I mean, the first thing, I don't want to sound full of myself, because I have to admit that luck, fate, whatever you want to call it, was a big part of it. Maybe the one thing I can single out is this moment when I said I don't want to regret not trying. But otherwise, I think I was extremely, extremely, extremely lucky. Also, one of the things, since someone might listen to this and really feel inspired to start, I mean, to have a financial plan, whether while you're training or while finding a job, or the initial time of, because it's not as rewarding at start. During training, yes, you are hired. I'm not sure about other outfits, but you won't get the financial support as you would once you are 3 years into your career with the airline. So I think a lot of financial planning needs to go into it, whether how to fund your training or how to support yourself and family during the transition, and to acknowledge that it's a very fragile and career that can you find it abruptly stopped.
Absolutely.
Whether things that happens with you, God forbid, losing your medical, or external, like the pandemic that hit many people who are not as lucky as I am to find a job because of the COVID. Many people lost their job because of COVID. So I think I was again on the extremely lucky side.
Well, I congratulate you and
Thank
your
you.
luck. Well done indeed. Lovely to see you again.
Same to
and
you, Captain
thanks
Nick.
very much indeed for arranging this little meetup.
I think thanks goes to you to fit me into, again, it was a short notice, more or less, but I really appreciate it, and I'm looking forward to our food coming in. So I will back to you, Captain Jeff, in the studio.
Brilliant.
Perfect. Wow. I am so glad Bassam reached out and you guys got a chance to meet up together. What a great story. And it just really kind of goes to show with the show, the Airline Pilot Guy Show, what an amazing community we have all throughout the world. And it's very inspiring to hear stories like his. And, he kind of downplayed his role in where he is as a pilot for, what did he say, Royal Airlines? And I know that he seems like a very modest person, but it does take a high level of talent and skill to land a job out there. And yes, it does also require good timing and, being fortunate. But man, I loved hearing from Bassam and Nick. The photography and the audio was amazing. Really, really good. Very impressive.
I did try several ways of recording it, and the old-fashioned way is the best, if you ask me. No, it was great to see him again, and thanks very much for giving us your time, Bassam, and I'm sure you will be an inspiration to many folk who are making, the job of an airline pilot their second career, even quite late on, as you freely admitted. Making the transition at the age of 41 is, it's no easy thing.
Still so young.
Since most airlines have quite a low age, maximum age for joining. You managed to get in anyway. Well done.
Yes,
well done to you. And I look forward to meeting him again, as we said we would, because he now flies quite regularly into the UK, which is great.
Well, I'm just going to have to try to make a trip out there and join you guys. That would be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'd be lovely. That would be great. That'd be fantastic.
Ooh, I want to go. I want to go.
Okay, let's all go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why not? Cover art?
Yes. Cover art time.
Okay. Let's have a look. I enjoy doing this one because
it makes me laugh every time I look at it. Those guys. I guess that was AI that came up with these guys, these characters.
I'm afraid so. Yeah.
Oh, they were so fun. I mean, just the look on their face and laugh. It just made every time I see it, I chuckle because it looks like they're having such a great laugh. Okay, go ahead.
Well,
sorry.
It does because they're having fun in the sim.
Yes.
These guys are in one of those kids' aeroplanes outside a store.
That's what the Sims look exactly like that. Yeah.
Yes, having all the fun. And if you look in the background, there's AJ's tinted car, well, his lady wife's tinted car.
Oh, yeah.
We've fit that in. We also had a title suggestion of unstable pilots. They don't look entirely stable, these two.
No.
But mainly they're surrounded by hungry goats. Dem goats be hungry, as AJ suggested, which was another good one. In fact, it may not have been AJ with the goats, but I reckon it was. AJ was full of good ideas because he also said, plane go boom, because we were talking about aircraft dropping sonic booms on the last show. But the one for me was the perfect one was the comment about the lady whose cat was upset by the air display. I think it was probably the Thunderbirds that did it. They're the dreadful pilots.
No. It was the Blue Angels in this case.
No,
yes, it was.
The Navy.
Seattle
The Navy
was the
always
Navy.
makes everybody mad.
Those poor Navy guys get all the rubbish, don't they? Get all the poo thrown at them. It's not fair. So it was a quote from her, which was, nobody gives an F about your stupid little planes, which I thought was just brilliant for a show title.
Yes.
And Jeff abbreviated that slightly for the actual podcast. So you'll find that name.
Got to keep it family friendly. Yeah. Your stupid little
Exactly.
planes is what I called it. Yeah. I'm just shortened it.
So for the hunters of the hidden Easter eggs, look on the guys' hats and you'll find a beautiful golden show logo there on their hats.
Nice.
And
does Five Stripes mean he's an extremely senior captain?
oh yeah, exactly. I never got to
Extremely
Five
accomplished.
Stripes, but yeah, it means you also have those old-fashioned sunglasses and a funny stripy tie. But there you go. There we go. If you're looking for the number, the show number, okay, look at the
I'm still looking for it.
first O in nobody, then look at the B, and then look at the second O, and you'll find that the first O is actually a 6 because there's a little tick above it for a 6. The B has got an extension on it that makes it into a 7. And the second O is also a 6. So 676, that was our show number.
Wow. Okay,
That
sure.
was a
Pretty
tough one.
deep.
That was a tough one this week.
Sure. Okay.
And down at the bottom there, we've obviously got the other Acme logo, because I gave you plenty of logos to look for.
Yeah.
And that is the propeller.
Yeah.
And
I
there's
saw that one.
also the penguin.
Before it was born?
Yeah, well done, Jeff. Yes, that is actually a picture of a jackass penguin egg.
Oh,
So,
wow. I guess it's
I
not
thought I'd
born,
try
but
and trick you there.
before it hatched. Yeah, I thought, wait a minute,
Yes,
that looks like an
indeed,
egg.
before it
Oh,
hatched.
I get it. I get it. Very clever.
So there you go.
Wow.
Thanks.
This is
that
really
was,
rapidly
last week's
becoming
show
the
up.
best part of the show. Covering the cover art.
So, we are doing a podcast just about that, but
Yeah.
there you go.
So that one was done very late at night, is what you're saying.
It was rather, yeah. I didn't have a lot of time for it, but it worked out just perfectly.
Awesome. Very well done. I always enjoy seeing what you're going to come up with, and we'll have to figure out what we're going to do for this episode. And speaking of this episode, because it's we're going to have a part 2 with Dr. Steph, and she's going to get us all caught up with what she has been up to on her trip down under, and hopefully we'll be able to cover some feedback as well. But that's going to do it for this part of the show, part 1. And I thank both Captain Nick and AJ for joining me. And of course, Liz, put yourself back in. Liz, come on. Say goodbye to everybody. There we go.
Hi there.
Yeah, there she is. We're gonna end part 1, if that's okay with you.
Yep, that makes sense.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you everybody
Very
for
little does on this show, but that
Yeah, it's
apparently
true.
makes sense.
yeah,
First
as
time
much
for
sense as it
everything.
can make. You know,
Good
for the-
recovery, though, Jeff. You recovered well from the, your audio was fine for the
Oh,
rest
good.
of
Well, had nothing to do with
All
it, but
good.
thank you very much.
Okay,
take
we'll
credit.
see you on part 2.
All right. And so very, very shortly, you're going to hear the lovely voice of Dr. Steph.
Bye, everybody.
That's not Dr. Steph. Well, speaking of the dulcet tones of Dr. Steph, here she is. Say something.
Something. I didn't
Okay.
know my tones were so dulcet.
Well, yeah, because I just said it.
Yes, magic
just
of podcasting. Join you on this
a
episode.
couple of sentences ago. Of course, you didn't hear it because you weren't here, because that was yesterday.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah. So welcome, Dr. Steph. Good to see you, and
Thank you.
can't
Glad
wait
to
to
be here.
hear about your getting to know us info for the trip that you just returned from very recently. So why don't you tell everybody? I think you kind of
Feels like I've been back for ages already, though.
I'm sure you do feel like that, yeah. But when did you? Well, okay. So tell us all about it.
Well, we could start from the beginning here. Let's
Okay.
see. The best way for me to do this is to pull up my photos because I can't remember dates for anything
Mm-hmm.
anymore. But yeah, I actually can't remember the last show I was actually on, but I was away for a little while. I went to Australia, so first time visiting down under. Specifically, went to Sydney. Reason for the trip, a marathon, of course, but really any reason to go and travel is a good enough one for me. So I'd actually been hoping to get to Australia for a number of years now. I had everything kind of planned out and plotted in 2020. I'd put away, I don't even know how many frequent flyer miles. I was going to do a business class, there and back trip. And then COVID happened. So did not get there in 2020. And then I was actually registered for the same marathon last year and decided I needed a little bit of work done on my knee. And it was mostly that I couldn't take time off of work for that and a long trip so close together. So decided to postpone it till this year. And actually that worked out for the best because I ended up taking the trip. So I ran the marathon in Sydney. That was August 31st, the Sunday, along with both of my brothers and one of my very best friends. So we all made the trip together. My dad came along to support and cheer us on, which was really nice. Backing up to, I know Matt Buntingframe is in our chat room, and he was asking about how the flights themselves were. And since this is aviation and airline related, I guess we could talk about that a little bit. Went out with American Airlines, and yeah, it's a long way to Australia from this part of the country, or this part of the world. So 4.5 hour flight ish from Charlotte to Los Angeles is how you start off that journey. Had a couple of hours on the ground there, which was nice. We actually left the airport, went to In-N-Out Burger, as you do at LA, and had a little bit of time, enough time actually to sit and, watch some landings. It wasn't a busy time of day. They weren't having a push or anything. So it was kind of slow, but I mean, it was a beautiful night, Los Angeles in August. So.
Sepulveda?
Sepulveda.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
it's like an approach end of the 2-4s.
Yeah, I forget which runway actually. Yeah, something like that. So, and it's walking distance from the terminal if you don't mind walking about a mile-ish, depending on what part of the airport you come into. So there's sidewalk the whole way. Just
you jogged.
No, we walked because it was me, myself, my youngest brother, Mike, and my dad all arrived about the same time. My dad and I were on the same flight coming in, so the three of us met up and went for that walk, and it was definitely a walk. Took our time. We had plenty of time. My other brother Joe and my friend Jess came in on the same flight from Chicago a couple hours later. They didn't really have a ton of layover time in LA, but all worked out good. And then boarded the flight to Los Angeles, and that's like 13.5 hours. So we
to Sydney, Steph, not to Los Angeles.
Oh, I'm sorry, from Los Angeles to Sydney. So thanks for keeping me straight. It's been a long week. More on that later. I was thinking about Los Angeles, but Los Angeles to Sydney, 13.5 hours, and had premium economy seats for that part of the trip, which worked out well for myself, my brothers, and my friend. We just took over kind of the middle section of 4 seats, had a row to ourselves there. Not terribly uncomfortable. Still was able to sleep most of that trip. I bought myself one of those. I haven't traveled with like a neck pillow in a long time, but I figured for this I might want something at least to have the option. So got one of those ones that connects or attaches to the back of the headrest and actually has like a strap in the front, so it kind of just like holds you in place so you can't I'm kind of notorious for if I fall asleep on an airplane, I usually try and get a window seat if I'm going to sleep so I can like lean against the seat. And,
no
like,
drooling. No drooling.
Drool onto the window and not the person next to me. And usually like my head will fall forward and do something very unflattering. Like my mouth, will be open and I'll be kind of smart. Yeah. So all the horrible things. So this pillow actually pretty great. Prevents your mouth from hanging open because it's kind of just closed around the bottom of your chin there, and keeps your head upright so that you're not like sliding awkwardly, out of your seat or into the neighboring passenger. And yeah, I probably slept almost 10 hours of that 13.5 hour flight. So
wow.
that was good. And then, got to Sydney. We departed Los Angeles. I'll get my cities right here, Liz. At 11 p.m. local time on Saturday, and arrived at 7 a.m. local time in Sydney on Monday. So Sunday was basically just flying all day and crossing the date line and all that. Busy day, first day in Sydney. We made our way to the hotel, kind of dropped our bags off. Rooms weren't ready yet. It was beautiful. I mean, it's end of winter there. Temperatures were, no idea what this is, Celsius, but there aren't any Brits or anything on the show right now, so we'll just go with 60 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and for high
16 to 17.
16, yeah, and 50 for the low, 10 ish. Yeah,
Exactly.
so really, really pleasant, comfortable, seasonable, nice weather. We walked around a whole bunch, kind of the, I guess kind of the not really the central business district area, but we walked around, the picture that Liz is showing now to my left, there's the Botanic Gardens, and we took a very nice tour of the Catholic Cathedral. Well, not a tour, but just, it was open, so we went in and wandered around and admired the architecture and windows and everything. And then we actually did take a guided tour of the Opera House. This is all Monday, the very first day we're there, and we've not really been to the hotel yet other than to drop our bags. Did that, and then kind of called it a day after that. Everyone was pretty tired and wind down. The Opera House tour was really nice, though. I enjoyed that. About an hour-ish long. Really nice guide, all the history of the, how they did the competition for the architecture and some of the difficulties and challenges in getting it built along the way, including some political snags and other things. So it took quite a bit of time, I guess, to actually build the Opera House. I forget how many years, but it was not a quick project. And then let's see, so that was Monday. Tuesday was kind of a rest catch up kind of a day. My friend Jess and I did the bridge climb. So the Sydney, or the Harbor Bridge, we did it at night. It was very windy that day and very, very windy on top of the bridge. Probably similar temperatures though, but man, it was gorgeous up there. Just lots of lights and beautiful sights around the harbor. So that was a lot of fun. That was our group there. I think there were 14 of us. That picture's good because the kid over my left shoulder was there with his dad, and he seemed very unenthusiastic for most of this climb. I think he was just being dragged along for it, and half the pictures that were all in, he kind of was just giving this grumpy, arms folded stare into the camera. So this one, he actually looks like maybe he's enjoying himself.
Don't want to be here.
Yeah, I didn't want to be here with my dad, but yeah. I'd say, I think the majority of this group, most of us were running the marathon. So lots of folks in town for the marathon.
Well, when you were initially down there, the show that we recorded, you sent us in some audio.
Oh, yes, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
So we did. I'm just kind of mentioning that we do have a lot of these photos that we're showing right now. We have actually seen on previous episode, but we get to see it again. And I'd just like to remind everybody that to make my job easier, just use the link in the Getting to Know Us thing, or there are several different places where you can see our show notes for this show, 677. All those pictures are going to be in there, including the ones that AJ was talking about earlier in the show, his anniversary trip up to Asheville. So all those are available there, and that makes it easier for me when I do the post-edit. Okay, so now I'll be like Homer and go back into disappear into the bushes.
There you go. Now I'm struggling to remember which day I met up with Grant. I think that was Wednesday, though, if I remember correctly.
I don't know. I'll just make something up. Nobody will know.
Sure, it was Wednesday. He'll correct me if I was wrong, or he won't. Don't worry about it, Grant. Whatever day it was, pretty sure it was Wednesday.
It was a great day.
It was a great day. Yeah, we had. It might have been Tuesday. I don't know. Kind of all blurs together. Anyway, Grant McCarran from the Playing Crazy Down Under podcast, he was able to come up from Melbourne for the morning, for part of the afternoon. We were able to catch up over some lunch. I guess his wife is kind of a big foodie, so she had some recommendations for places in Sydney that she'd been, and we ended up at a Malaysian place down in Chinatown. I said, hey, let's pick something that's different that we don't really have here. I can't name a single Malaysian restaurant in this area, so wasn't entirely sure what we were getting, but sounded good to me, and it was absolutely delicious. And then we went across the way to a I guess it's it's not a big formal brewery, but it was kind of an eatery location with a lot of different small restaurants and stuff that you could order from, but one of the locations had some beers. So Actually, no, I take it back. That was Tuesday because we did the bridge climb after that. So this was Tuesday as well. Sorry, it all kind of runs together. And then, or was it Wednesday? It was Wednesday. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Mike, doesn't matter. Anyway, so had a chance to enjoy a brew, and we recorded a little bit of audio, which I think you may have already played. Yep. So you already heard that. But lovely to see him. Really grateful he was able to make the trip up. I know it's not a short distance between Sydney and Melbourne, but fortunately had some other business in the area and could make it all kind of work out together. So there's some other folks down in the Melbourne area, and I'm sorry I didn't get to see you guys, some of our listeners there, but just means I'll have to make another trip back to Australia at some point in the future. Let's see, what else do we do? Let's go through some of the highlights. We did couple of trips out to Bondi Beach, famous kind of surfing beach out there. But I was really more interested in this pool that's behind me, which is the Icebergs pool. Really neat idea, I think, are all these pools along the coast and the beaches that are basically just filled by ocean water. So the waves just crash over the edge and fill up these pools. So you're basically swimming in salt water, not very warm water.
That's big in Britain. They have a lot of those in Britain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'd never seen it before. I guess I missed them in Britain as well. But yeah, I went and swam in that pool, did a couple of laps back and forth. There were a couple people swimming with wetsuits, and I was jealous of the wetsuits because it was not warm. I think they said the water temperature was 17.2 Celsius, so like mid-60s. Not terribly warm. We took a trip out to a wildlife center. I think it was called Featherstone, Featherdale, something like that. We were taking public transportation everywhere, and we had kind of looked at the map, and it was like an hour train ride. We're like, okay, that's not too bad. It's a little bit out of the city. But we failed to realize that they were going to be doing track work that day. So we were not able to take a direct train there. So we took a train like 2/3 of the way, and then we had to take a bus and then another train. But the streets were so like clogged up from all this extra traffic on the road, I guess. Like this journey ended up taking like 2.5 hours to get to this place, but it was worth it. My brother Joe was like insistent that we had to see koalas and that he could actually pet a koala. So this was kind of like a big petting zoo, and he had a chance we had our turn each with a little koala that we could pet while they sat there and ate eucalyptus. It was really sweet. So in addition to, usual suspects, kangaroos, wallabies, wombats, emus, crocodile. We did not see the Tasmanian
lots of
devil.
spiders?
Not a ton of spiders. Interesting story, side note. Got back to Charlotte and was doing some work at one of our offices yesterday, and I looked out the window and there was this massive spider outside the window. I mean, a couple inches in diameter.
Was it like one of the green invading ones?
Has like yellow and black.
Yellow and black, and has like a real
Juro,
zigzaggy.
I think.
Juro, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
from Southeast Asia.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Things I don't know, but yeah.
You brought it back. It's your fault.
I did not see you want to know what the only bugs were that I saw in Sydney proper, like on the street, on the sidewalks? Take a wild guess. No.
Roaches?
Cockroaches.
Wow. Okay.
I was like, I can see those here. We have palmetto bugs.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
adopted them as our state bug. So.
It's such a sweet sounding name in South Carolina.
Until you realize it's just a
palmetto
cockroach.
bug.
Palmetto bug.
Yeah.
But yeah. And let's see what else. Other pictures here. And then, of course, the race. So that was on Sunday. Gorgeous weather. Couldn't have asked for better. Marathon conditions. Really beautiful course. You start in North Sydney. You run across the bridge back into like the central business district, kind of loop around. It's very hilly. This was one of my photos coming across the harbor bridge there. And then you kind of run out of town towards some of the suburbs, make a big loop around Centennial Park, I think it's called, and then finishes up right at the Opera House. So really spectacular course, challenging course, lots and lots of hills. And they did a really nice job just logistically on the marathon. This was the first year that Sydney was part of the World Marathon Majors series. So that was a big draw and reason to go this year as well. So yeah, well done, Sydney. You did a good job on the marathon this year. So, and then long flight back. Did not sleep as well. Sat back in economy. Yeah, It was fine though. We made it.
You're still alive. It's still recovering.
Still alive. No, not terrible jet lag. I feel like I came back and immediately had horrible seasonal allergies here. Like the weather went from being very hot to very cool all of a sudden, and I was just very congested all last week. But I don't think I had terrible jet lag. But back to normal this week. Work has been busy as usual, so we'll try to keep making our schedules line up as best we can here.
Yeah. It's all we can do. All we can
I
do.
think that's most of it. Did I forget anything? There was a lot of stuff we packed into a week. So
I don't know.
I don't either.
Sounds good to me. I was just trying to find a picture of the Juro.
The spider. Well,
yeah.
Matt Bunting Frame wants to know how many marathons is that for me. I've lost count. I can tell you that if I go on the Abbott World Marathon Majors website, they have like a runner portal. There are 7 World Marathon Majors now. I've done I've done a total of 24 majors. So like 11 Chicagos, a couple New Yorks, a couple Berlin, a couple London, a couple Boston. So all of those add up to 24. And then there's a couple other ones in there too. So maybe close to 30. Unsure.
It's a lot.
I should probably know. Yeah.
As Liz would say. All right. And she's giving us the thumbs up. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Whoever shared that was AJ. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to do that. And then, of course, because this machine is basically a brand new machine now for me, you have to go back in and you have to quit Google Chrome and then restart it. And I'm thinking, I almost hit the button to do that. And I went, oh, no, I should not do that. That would have screwed up everything.
The button that no podcaster should
exactly. So I thought, okay, never mind. We're not going to be able to share anything from my end anyway. Yeah, well, that's great. Glad to have you back, Steph, and I'm glad that you were able to fit us or the show into your schedule
thanks
this week.
for working it out with me. I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Yeah,
I don't know when actually I'm going to be able to publish this show, this episode, part 1 and part 2, because I'm leaving, as I mentioned in my just a little while ago in the Getting to Know Us segment, talking about my road trip that I'm leaving on tomorrow now, Saturday. So, yeah, we'll just have to play it by ear.
And Steph forgot to mention the one other thing she did while she was in Sydney, and she played travel agent for me.
Oh, I did, yes. Oh. Well, I played intermediary travel agent. So there was a request for anyone know anything about the Asheville area, and I said, well, I can get you in touch with the person who does. So,
I got some
thanks to
contacts.
Justice.
It was great.
Excellent. Yeah, he was telling us about the trip, which was pretty awesome.
I was like, I'm not one for knowing all the latest and greatest, but I know who knows all that information. So good. I'm glad it worked out well. Happy anniversary.
Thank you. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Very good. All right. So we've already heard from AJ and myself in the Getting to Know Us segment earlier in the show. So I think now would be a good time for me to test to see if this is going to work, this button with this new setup. We'll do some feedback. Oh, it works.
Captain, incoming message.
And it's very, very loud to me. Was it very loud to everybody there too? No?
Not okay. It was okay.
Okay.
On the loud side of okay.
Okay. Well, I'll be able to adjust that in post. Anyway, let's see. So what are we going to start with, Miss Liz? Just the first one in the, okay, 3. All right. She's holding up 3 fingers. So let's start with that. This is from Freddie. And the title of his feedback is Sad Story That Took 25 Years to Come Home to Roost. He says, hi, guys. While skimming the interwebby thingamabob, as we all call it, came across this sad tale. And this is from Plane and Pilot Magazine, or planeandpilotmag.com. And he says, keep up the great work. And he says, also, looking up at aircraft and wishing I was on them or photographing them or just still watching them. Actually, when I started to read this, I'm thinking, is this a poem that I'm reading? No, it's just a couple of sentences. Anyway, this is
a haiku.
Is it a haiku? Oh, okay. I should have recognized that. Thank you for the haiku. Frederick from London, Essex, and now West Sussex. So one of our British listeners. And again, he sent the link from Plane and Pilot magazine. The title, Tragic Engine Failure. Experienced and skilled pilot falls victim to long ago maintenance issue in deadly accident. And so when I actually read this and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm not understanding this. This is something they talk about. I'm not going to read the entire article here because it's kind of quite long, but we'll have it in the show notes. But the gist is that this airplane, by the way, Liz, will you show the picture that's included with this article? I'm going to give the person writing the article the benefit of the doubt, and maybe one of the quote unquote editors slapped this thing in there, which I think is kind of unusual for a magazine that is like an aviation magazine. But it's that is not a Cessna 310, which is what the article is talking about. That's a Cessna 172 single engine airplane. But this article talks about a maintenance error on a 1978 Cessna T310R light twin, and it lifting off from the Santa Fe Regional Airport in New Mexico. And I believe, is this the one that we actually covered earlier? I guess it would have been last year, where they barely they were trying to climb it, or it was one just like that incident that we actually covered. I know there was another one in the Santa Fe area that had trouble. They lost an engine and had trouble climbing. I think in this case, what did it make it all the way up to about 200 feet? And an attempt was made to try to return to the airport, the Santa Fe Regional Airport, and that's Kilo Sierra Alpha Foxtrot in New Mexico. And they didn't make it. And they talk about something that had occurred back in the 90s, I think. And apparently...
The engines were overhauled, zero-timed back in 98.
Okay.
So, and when they did that, there was a maintenance error. Oh, I just moved away from that paragraph. So they said when they stripped down the engines, what they found was that the counterweight assemblies between cylinders 3 and 4 were, let's see.
Installed
incorrectly. Yeah, there's something going on. I'm not going to get the technical aspect of it wrong, but the ones that remained attached showed that the retaining rings on the aft side were incorrectly installed. So they checked that was on the engine that failed. They checked the other engine. It was the same mechanical error, or maintenance error. So both engines had that. So the key takeaway was this maintenance error from 24 years before finally, showed up, and unfortunately with very tragic consequences.
That is just scary, isn't it? That you would hope.
And they said it's not something you could really see on a pre-flight. Look over on the engine. It's not something you would pick up on easily unless you were. I don't know.
There's no way to see it. It's inside the
it's like inside the engine.
Yeah.
And you would hope that something mechanically installed improperly would be something that you would be revealed almost immediately after an overhaul, quote unquote. But apparently, no. But it took a long time to finally reveal itself, and as you said, Steph, had tragic consequences. Yeah, terrible. Anything to add, AJ, on this?
Not much. Just like I said, kind of tragic. Other than that, this pilot, like you said, I think we covered this a while back. But this pilot was not a new pilot. He was very, very, very experienced in multi-engine airplanes as well. Had a type rating in a B-17, a B-25, a DC-3. So
very accomplished.
Over 5,000 hours. So yeah, not a. I guess it kind of goes back to anybody can be victim of pilot error,
Yeah. Even the best of us. That's why we all have to be.
How about number 6, and then we'll see where we're at. Number 6.
All right. This is some feedback. Thank you again, Freddie, for sending that in. And again, a link to that article from Plane and Pilot Mag planespotting.com will be in the show notes. This one is from Jolly. Beards and bouncing. Kind of use your imagination there. Captain Jeff and crew, I'm a longtime listener and first-time caller. I go by Jolly, and I'm an F-22 pilot with a Virginia Air National Guard, as well as a 75767 first officer for Acme Brown. I started listening to APG in 2018 and have about 20 episodes to go before I'm all caught up, mostly around episodes 380 to 400. Wow, obviously he has the syndrome. Wanted to reach out regarding some of the feedback you guys received recently, the first being the FAA looking at allowing beards somewhere around episode 660. That discussion gave me a chuckle, as Acme Brown actually allows us to have beards. They're supposed to be no more than something like 1/4 of an inch, but as you can imagine, some folks push the limits on that rule. Yeah, because that's what we do, right? We like to push the limits. But as you can, maybe it's because it's just us on the aircraft, and if our oxygen doesn't work, well, too bad. But at least hundreds of passengers aren't going to be impacted by our incapacitation. Who knows if that'll make its way to the PICS carriers or if the passenger airlines will even allow it. But there is precedent in the U.S. for a major airline, albeit cargo, to allow pilots to fly with beards. And I did not know that. That's definitely news to me.
You're saying there's a chance.
There's a chance.
Air Canada allows beards. Air Canada allows beards.
Yeah. But
but Virgin allows beards.
Yeah, I mean, and AJ there with his nice little beard, Acme Brown, I could see it.
I've actually considered that. They're among my top destinations.
Okay, cool.
Boxes
all right,
don't complain.
No, they do not. The next, he continues, the next concerns bouncing, as discussed in episode 668. I can tell you with confidence that there is no such thing that happens here in the U.S. Okay. Just a quick context. Bouncing, not like a bounce landing, but Captain Nick or somebody, I think maybe Bob Judson or something. Well, I forgot exactly what the context, but we were talking about. Somebody
sent in an email asking about whether it was a thing with if Nick had ever experienced it in the UK, because I think they were in Asia somewhere maybe, and it had happened to them. Basically, a friendly fighter squadron kind of plays cat and mouse with an unknowing other fighter group.
Yeah.
And then, so he was, somebody sent in feedback that it had happened, and then Nick talked about that.
Yeah. And apparently, he was familiar with it, at least back in the day. And then the feedbacker was asking, is that something that happens in the U.S.? And we were going, well, I don't know. But hey, this guy does, because he's an F-22 pilot in the Virginia Air National Guard. So let's see. Let's see if I can pick up from where I left off. He says, I can tell you with confidence that there's no such thing that happens here in the U.S. May have something to do with airspace congestion, as almost all our training happens in dedicated MOAs, or MOAs, military operating areas, overland or warning areas off the coast. When I was a young pup in the F-22, we did a squadron TDY, that's temporary duty, to Lakenheath in the UK for 5 weeks, easily one of the best trips of my life. Trips to Cambridge, London, and Scotland, sharing beers in the Eagle Bar, all awesome experiences. I do remember hearing something about bouncing when we were there, though unfortunately we were never the target of someone trying to do so. Maybe they couldn't see us, or maybe it has fallen out of favor. Either way,
little humble brag there with the F-22
yeah, it is.
pilot.
But, we all go, well, yeah, I can kind of see that, because that's what everybody, one of the good friends of the show, the good looking Captain Jeff, Colonel Jeff, we'd like to call him, because it hurts my feelings when we call him the good looking Captain Jeff. So he flew the F-15, like every version of the F-15 in the U.S. Air Force. And we were talking about the F-22. I think we were at an air show back in Pittsburgh, and so, hey, well, Jeff, what do you think about those F-22s? And he goes, well, when we do any kind of engagement with the F-22, he says, it's just not fair. It's not fair, because we never see them. We get shot down, and we've never seen the darn airplane. So very impressive piece of, what is it, fifth generation jet?
Fifth generation.
Yeah. Anyway, he said, He really loved his experiences there in the UK. Okay, let's see. Maybe they couldn't see us. Okay, the humble brag. Either way, bummer. We did get to do quite a bit of basic fighter maneuvers, BFM, or AK, also known as dogfighting, with the Typhoons, which was fantastic training. A little more on my background. I commissioned in 2012 and was lucky enough to snag the F-22 out of pilot training. Probably more than luck, I bet. He's just being humble. I flew it for 10 years on active duty and last year transitioned to the Air National Guard, where I'm fortunate enough to continue flying that beautiful bird. As I transitioned, I applied to what felt like every airline under the sun, and after about 9 months of waiting and interviewing, I started with Acme Brown late last year. The flexibility offered by the Guard and the opportunity to fly both the Heavy Metal and the Raptor has been a huge boost to quality of life. I know you've mentioned it before, but I really wish I knew more about the Guard and reserves when I was younger. Yeah, because I talk about that all the time. Had no idea until it was too late. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for all you guys do. You know it already, but rest assured that you have provided more than a wealth of knowledge to hundreds, if not thousands, of pilots. Feel free to drop a line if any fighter-type questions come up that the distinguished Captain Nick can't answer. Keep the greasy side down, unless you're in the Raptor. Jolly. That's great. Great feedback.
Love it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice. All right. What do
Okay,
you think,
one
Liz?
more. We'll finish with this one. The next
Okay.
one, number 7 from Texas Charlie.
Okay. That makes it easy. All right. So this one, the final one for our show number 677, right? Yeah. Is from Texas Charlie. And the title of his feedback, Planespotting from My Backyard. Howdy, everyone. We live in Flower Mound, a suburb of Dallas-Fort Worth, about 7 miles north of the DFW airport. If I sit on my porch and look up, I can see the planes headed to 18 right. They're probably about a little more than 1,000 feet above me, or close enough that I might be able to see an Airbus pilot pushing the, quote, land the plane button. Sorry, Captain Nick, I couldn't resist. Well, good news, Texas Charlie, he's not here today, so he's not
but
here.
he did leave a
He did leave a
comment there.
snarky comment in there.
Oh, he
though.
did. Yeah, so somebody read his snarky comment.
Sorry, Texas Charlie. He said, Captain Nick says, Texas Charlie is dead to me. He put a little,
Angry
eyes
face.
squinting emoji
Yeah,
in
not
there.
a very happy face. Yeah, a kind of a disappointed looking
Thin-lipped,
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah, so you're
I
dead
think
to him.
he's kidding, though.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, said with love.
Yes. He is a sensitive man. Okay. Continuing with Texas Charlie's feedback. These planes come in straight and directly over me, so much so that I can even... let me try this again. These planes come in straight and directly over me, so much so that I can see even a small change in their approach. So the day before yesterday, I was surprised to see a big jet coming in at about 20 degrees off the line and banking at about 35 degrees starboard. I'll say I wasn't in the Navy, so that would be to the right. Okay. And I thought, is this an incident in the making? Maybe ATC switched him from 17 center to 18 right and didn't issue a go-around. Or maybe the pilot just got behind, had to come in off center and gave his passengers a wild ride. And then I saw the livery, UPS. So, in your experience, do some cargo pilots fly with a bit more abandon as boxes don't email complaints to the corporate office? If you want to defer this question to Miami Rick, then I can wait the prerequisite year or two. Ooh, burn. He says, adios, Texas Charlie. So the reason for this, of course, we just read the feedback from Jolly, who flies for Acme Brown. So
Another cargo operator.
Yeah. And he's an F-22 guy, so obviously they fly with much greater abandon than the pilots out there flying passengers. Now, I think I know the answer to this. So if you look at the airport diagram of the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, you'll see that the cargo areas, and Dr. Steph is going to back me up on this. I can tell she's looking up on her apps, or her, I guess, FlightAware, or what? No, what would you be using?
ForeFlight.
ForeFlight, I'm sorry.
Or Garmin Pilot for the, just the other people.
The other people, the below average
Whichever
people.
one. There's no beef. This is like, Apple Android. We don't take sides.
We could use like Sky Vector.
But we know which one's
right?
better.
Sky Vector is like free, I think. Anyway.
What?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, never mind. Just I'll take that out in post. Probably, actually, I won't.
You won't.
So
It's fine.
Take the comment out, but leave the "I'll take that out in post" in.
Okay. So anyway, getting back to this, if you look at the airport diagram, you'll see that most, if not all, the cargo facilities at the Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport are on the western half of the airport. So if this flight was coming in to 17 left or 17 center, or even 17 right on that side of the airport, they would probably have requested, or probably the controllers and the tower and approach controllers already know that these cargo flights are going to want to land on the 1/8s because that's going to be closer for them to taxi to the cargo ramps, the cargo facilities. And now, back me up, Steph. Am I right? That's
You are correct.
Okay,
That is correct.
All right. So that's.
I do have a point of order question.
Yes.
How do you have a 17 center and a 17 right, but no 17 left?
There is a 17 left. You just have to expand your diagram.
It's way over there.
It's way over there.
So DFW is so large that you can't fit the entire airport diagram generally on one small screen. So we'll give you a pass on that one. Yeah.
I was like,
I know. I had the same thought. I was like, wait, when's it?
I'm very
there
confused.
It is.
Okay, carry on. Don't mind me.
It has both
Take that out in post.
left,
It's that-
center, and right. Yeah.
It's that small runway, and by small I still mean 8,500 feet long.
Yeah, and I've landed on it
just
a
the
bunch of
little one.
times, and it takes forever.
It's
to,
way out in no man's land.
Yeah, and you think that I taxi quickly when I land on that runway because it's like 5 miles to get to the darn terminal. You can bet that I'm just
V1.
shy of V1. Yeah. Anyway, so that's I think what happened here. They probably were coming in for the approach to one of the 17s, and they got switched over to 18 right.
This happens. I mean, similar stuff happens in Charlotte all the time. There's always requests for the east side runway from the regional pilots because that's where the regional terminal is, Terminal E, and it's harder to snag a slot on that side just because of operational reasons. And anyone coming from the south or the west, it's a common refrain that we hear. Any chance of the right side if they're landing north? Any chance of the right? Any chance of the
And airports like Charlotte and like DFW and a lot of these airports around the world, even Atlanta International, the controllers, they know. You don't even really have to ask. They just know that you're going to want certain runways. It's just more convenient for you. But sometimes you have to use the philosophy. Well, if I don't ask, maybe if I had asked, they would have given it to me. So it doesn't hurt.
It never hurts to ask.
Yep, exactly. Never hurts. Anyway, so that's what we think, Texas Charlie, and so you don't have to wait like a year or two to hear from Miami Rick.
Well, unless you want to know about cargo pilots flying with abandon and not, worrying about aggressive maneuvering.
He might have
That
something to
part.
say about
might have
that.
something
Maybe Jolly will write us some feedback.
Yeah, Jolly, tell us about your reckless abandoned flying techniques. And I'm not talking about in the F-22. I'm talking about in the 7576. Man, it would be so cool to fly that F-22. It's amazing. I still say it's one of the best demonstration flights, or whatever they call those. What do they call those?
Yeah, demonstration flight.
Demonstration
Demo
flights
flight.
that I've ever seen. No airplane, in my opinion, does what that F-22. I remember the first time that I saw one in doing a demonstration flight was Pittsburgh back in 2017, and Wings Over Pittsburgh, I think we called it. It was our second meetup, big meetup, and I was looking up at that airplane, going, what's wrong with me? I'm having some kind of a hallucination or something. This airplane is doing things that airplanes cannot do, and it was doing it, and I was just completely blown away. by this vector thrust technology on this airplane is just amazing. Yeah, Tanya says, it's like a UFO. It is. All right. Well, thank you very much, Texas Charlie. And with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. And we're going to point you over to our website, airlinepilotguy.com. Guess what? We haven't done a thing to change anything or update anything. AJ's still not on it. But yeah, maybe we should get somebody to
still
work
on probation.
that.
I think I have to. Don't I have to get off probation before I can be on the website?
Yeah, it's a standard
Double secret
5-year
probation.
5-year probation period.
Sorry. Yeah.
Anyway,
In the
yeah.
contract, we can
Yeah, I'll
review it, I
I'll get you the contract one of these days too.
Oh, I got it. It's right here.
Okay.
It's all 49 pages.
Okay. And we're also on social media, what I like to call the social meds. And yay, Steph is here to do it because she does it the best.
So if you're also on the social medias, you can head over to one of the following: facebook.com/airlinepilotguy. You can catch us on X. We're at APG Crew. If you're looking for the weekly show artwork, that's on Instagram, instagram.com/APG Crew. And if you're, just dying to be a part of these live recordings, come join our live audience and chat room. Lots of good stuff going on there. That's on YouTube, youtube.com/airlinepilotguy. And I hope Hillel is still around.
Yeah.
He's
in fact,
the bathroom as usual.
I need to
for
turn the
Slack.
volume down on that. Hey, could you tell us about Slack? Hello?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet.
I know. It's a standard thing for you. He's going to come over here and tell us all about it.
APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and Plain Tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thanks a lot, Hillel.
Jeff,
What?
I don't understand it. How can we be out of conditioner again?
I like to use the conditioner a lot. I'll get some more, though. All right. He's always complaining. But you know
I'll
what?
send you guys some. I've got extra.
Do you? Okay. But you know what? We have to accept his complaints because he does so much work in the Slack world. He's the Slack master.
That's true.
So,
Have you guys formalized the roommate agreement, or is he still just kind of staying until he gets on his feet?
It's also a 47-page contract.
Yeah, it's the contract and the probation
understanding.
thing. It's all, yeah.
all that
same-
again. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, didn't mean to bring it up.
That's why he still lives in the bathroom. Working up
And,
to guest bedroom, but not there yet.
Uber Eats comes and knows to go directly to the second bathroom. And anyway, and also we'd like to thank Liz Piper, our producer. Thank you, Liz. And really, she does so much for us here, including a lot of the prep work for the show, and also putting up with us is probably the biggest job that she has. And try to keep us on track, So, it's like herding cows or herding what? I don't know.
Herding cats.
Cats, that's it.
Squirrels.
Yeah, cows are relatively simple. We
They
figured that
herd.
out.
As soon as I
They're
said
herds.
cows, I'm thinking, well, that's not the saying.
It starts with a C.
I got pretty.
It has 4 letters.
Yeah. Okay. And we'd also like to thank our live chatters, our live audience. We have a great group today, even on short notice for a Friday evening, and lots of girls, lots of women in there too. Which
I
we
was
love.
gonna say it was kind of
Love
ladies'
it.
night. So
Yeah.
thanks, Gina and Tanya. And
Yeah.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah,
Cool.
Deanna? Yeah.
fantastic.
Sorry, he's already
Deanna,
got a
yep.
title. Thanks, Tim. He's working on it right now. Tim had a title: Stream, Dribble, and Jiggle.
Oh, I do like that. Thank goodness Captain Nick
Yeah.
wasn't here to hear that, because I'm not sure
No,
I'd
I
want to
respect
see that. No, don't.
He probably would have put bounce in there too.
Okay.
Stream, dribble, jiggle, and bounce. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
So yeah, thanks for the suggestion, though. So, and with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off for this episode, and hope to see you again on next week's. And we're wishing you clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Take care, and God bless.
Cheers, y'all.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the airline pilot guy.
Good day.
I used to be such a good pilot till I started APG. I opened doors for little old ladies. I helped them to their seats. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline pilot guy, he can land in heavy fog. I got no friends 'cause I'm always flying. I just don't have the time. But I can land this old plane. I can land it just fine.